Hello guys, welcome back to the channel once again. Today I am here to share the storyline of Juquinha and Lorena with you guys because to be honest, I am enjoying it so much. So the title is Três Graças and it was released in 2025 but is still currently ongoing until 2026. So it is a Brazilian telenovela. It follows Gerluz, who becomes pregnant as a teenager, just like her mother Ligia, as she struggles for survival and combats corruption in São Paulo. Affecting her community, she watches her daughter Julie become the third generation to face a similar challenging fate. So that is the whole plot of everything that goes on. So yes, let's get right into more details regarding in this Juquinha and Lorena situation. So let's get right into, the role that each of them plays. So we're gonna start off with Juquinha. So Juquinha, she comes from a very wealthy family, but the thing is that she doesn't want to depend on her family's wealth. She kind of have decided to go, or in this case, she have decided to go her own path, and she became, in this case, a very determined and strong undercover police officer who often provides comic relief while investigating the series of crimes that she has going on as a professional. And on the other hand, we have Lorena. So Lorena, she also comes from a very wealthy family and also a very traditional family that believes that everything needs to go on the way it always has going on, especially when it comes to her father, that is a very powerful one and can also be seen as a very dangerous man at the same time. So that is by basically, the diversity when it comes to both of them. So how do they meet? So they meet at a dinner that one of their friends have organized, a friend that they have in common. So right off the bat, as soon as they met each other, they just had this immediate connection to one another. So Juquinha, at the end of the dinner, she decides to, give Lorena a ride home. So while they had that ride home, you can just see them speaking to one another, just talking about a lot of things, laughing, having a good time. So from that moment on, they already knew there was something there. But obviously, in this case, Juquinha, she wasn't sure if Lorena was open to dating women because Juquinha made it very clear since the very beginning that she likes women. So as things go on and things start to develop between the two, they decide to go out again. And then from that moment, you can just see like an immediate connection. Lorena was like, she's open to everything. She's open to, exploring new situations, new emotions, new feelings. And obviously, Juquinha took that as, yes, you can make a move on me. And that is exactly what Juquinha did. She made a move on Lorena. Lorena accepted it very well, and it was reciprocated, and that's how everything began between the two. But obviously, there's a lot that comes with them being out because, on one hand, we have Juquinha, who is an out and proud lesbian. On the other hand, we have Lorena, who knows that her family will not accept very well her being with a woman because of, her family dynamic that she has going on. So yes, that's the whole beginning of their story. As their relationship, kept going, they kept spending more time together. They have decided to make things between them official very quick. And then obviously, Lorena decided to finally introduce Juquinha to her mother, but not as her girlfriend or as someone that she's going out with, but yes, as a friend. But later on, Juquinha and Lorena, they had a conversation, and Lorena have, finally felt comfortable enough to come out to her mother. She came out to her mother. Her mother actually accepted it very well. She was like, I already knew. I was just waiting for you to come to me. So her mother basically received her with open arms. On the other hand, Juquinha's family knows about her, like she was accepted very well. She never had, the necessity to come out to her family because she is who she is and proud for who she is, and she was very, very, when she was very younger. But in this case, Lorena's situation is different. So basically, Lorena knew that her father will never accept it, but she still have decided to come out to her father because she felt like it was the moment and the time for it. Obviously, her father rejected it, said that she needed to stop this relationship because if she doesn't, stop seeing Juquinha, he will basically cut her off. And moral of the story, that's exactly what happened. After a very, very tough argument, you can basically see that Lorena ends up moving out of her father's house, and she went to a family that's also friends with her family's house to be there. And obviously, Juquinha and Lorena, they kept exploring and being in a relationship, but her father was always against it. Until one day, obviously, things took a very big turn when Juquinha and Lorena have decided to go to a family dinner that, in this case, Lorena's father was hosting in order to basically meet the girlfriend of her, or in this case, Lorena's brother. Obviously, there's also a whole nother situation on its own. But when Juquinha and Lorena arrives, at the dinner with basically holding hands, her father just was so upset. You can just see him saying all of this horrific stuff to them. And you can basically see all the family was trying to check the father, but the father was just against it because he has his own ways. He just wanted things to be his ways. But obviously, Lorena and Juquinha, they always stood their ground and made sure that no matter what, Lorena's father say, they will not, go against each other, and they will stick to one another because they love each other and they want to be together. And during that moment, another incident happened. So during arguments at the dinner, you can just see, that Lorena's father ends up collapsing because, he had like this health issue and he collapsed during the argument and he was rushed to the hospital. Obviously, after arriving to the hospital, they thought he would calm himself down and finally come to his senses. But he definitely still didn't come to his senses. And then you can see that Juquinha went to visit Lorena in the hospital just to check up on her to make sure she's okay. But you can also see that was also another thing because you can just see how Lorena was broken because when her father was finally conscious, she said that her father just said all of this horrific stuff to her that he doesn't want to accept it, and it was just a whole lot. But Juquinha told her like, "Hey, I'm here for you no matter what, and even though your father doesn't accept us for now, he's still your father, and you need to be there for him. So just be patient with him. Hopefully, like in the future, he will come to his senses." So that was actually very kind words. On the other hand, another dilemma that they have going on is also that Lorena is kind of nervous to have her first time with Juquinha. If you guys know by first time, you know what I mean. So she's kind of nervous because she never been with a woman intimate before. But Juquinha is so like delicate. She tell her like, "Hey, I don't want you to rush this. When we're gonna do it, wherever you feel ready for it. I don't want you to feel pressure to do anything." So that was also kind of very sweet just to see how they could understand one another and how in love they are. Let me tell you, these two are in love. What they are going through and the fact that they are sticking it through thick and thin, it definitely says a lot about how and where their relationship is gonna go. Because one thing that also stood out for me is that during the argument that they had with Lorena's father, you can see that Juquinha stood up to Lorena's father and actually asked, in this case, Lorena to marry her. And Lorena said, like, yes, I would marry you. So I don't know if their proposal was just to make her father not upset, but to make him realize that they are not playing any games, or was it an official proposal? But I do feel like as the episodes go by, we will get a little bit more of a response regarding their proposal. So we're gonna see how things is gonna do. But let me tell you, so far so good. I am enjoying it a lot. So if you guys would like to know more about the story, I will definitely be keeping you guys updated. This is just the first part review of it. It is available to watch on Global Play, in this case TV Globo. It's a very, very popular Brazilian streaming platform where you can find all types of, telenovelas, soap operas, series, and so on. And a lot of them have queer, or in this case, lesbian couples in it. So I will highly recommend you also watch out or go look out to at the platform. But yes, this couple is a must watch. If you are not watching them, you are missing out. I hope you all have enjoyed this quick review. Until the next one, and goodbye.